All right, we'll move to old business. District improvement. Dr. Zalis is going to share with us the formation of a committee to inform our district patrons about the bond and levy issue that's going to be on the April 7th, 2015 ballot. It's hard to believe we're almost there after all this.
The timeline that we presented before relative to the district improvement, which includes the expansion of early childhood opportunities, has been changed subtly. Expansion of the place we are now along the timeline with the formation of their Worth It committee, and you see Faith Barnes' name underneath that, and I would like to introduce her.
Yay.
Come forward, Faith. I'd like for her to kind of share with you some information about the committee and the work that she's doing, and we very much appreciate her willingness. She serves our district, as you know, as part of the Friday Backpack program, which is where she was just before she came here. And that's been a great thing for us, and continuing her service to the students of our school district. We very much appreciate her being here.
Welcome, Faith, and thank you.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing backpack?
This is our 8th year.
8th year, wow. I was trying to remember that yesterday. I was thinking about that.
430 children, so
Wow.
Now we're up to now is 430.
430.
A lot of backpacks.
And now I saw today Walmart's having a site set up where you can buy things and put them in
They are setting that up, yes.
for the
Yes.
backpack
Yep,
program.
yep.
Yeah,
It'll benefit us. So
great.
It's, yeah, pretty awesome.
Outstanding.
Pretty awesome. So we have met recently and we have formed a committee, and I was honored to be asked to chair it. And of course I said yes. I'm very passionate about this project. They're worth it because I do feel our children are worth it. Our community will benefit, on so many different levels. So we're all worth it, actually. So as you can see on the timeline, we are at we recently formed the committee, and the election is, 7 weeks away, so we have a big task ahead of us, and kind of newly formed committee, so.
So there's 14 members of the committee. You want to share the names of the people that are on it? Some of you will know the names.
So I am the chair, Faith Barnes. We have Molly Malone, she is our treasurer.
Yay.
Very fortunate.
Who's that?
Yeah. Rachel Allison, Jenny Brown,
Yep.
Justin Brown, Ken Clayton, Jody Elder, Kim Hafer, Becky Hoffman, Charlotte Jameson, Mike Matthews, Debbie McGrath, Jill Cedarberg, Liz Sperry, Chris Waldman, John Woodfin, and Gina Zervos.
Wow.
So
All
we
right.
have a
Great group of people.
Yeah, a really dynamic group, very
Yeah.
diverse. It's going to be great going forward with them, working with them.
So Nancy, I don't know what you're saying.
Sorry, they're over here. I thought you would take
Oh.
them whenever.
Oh, you thought I was going to take it.
I thought you wanted them.
Faith has provided some handouts. I was trying to do sign language. Give me 1 minute.
Yep.
I will say that Jamie and I were at the meeting Tuesday, and it is a very good cross-section, representative section of the community. And happy to see that includes 3 or 4 people from faith-based or private early childhood programs.
Great.
Which I think is an excellent, yeah, excellent thing.
Shows that they're embracing it too.
So as I said, the name of the committee is They're Worth It, and it's encompassing, the campaign is for Proposition R31-1 and Proposition R31-2. And we have set up a mailing, P.O. Box 72 in Rolla, Missouri. And this is so we can get some contributions to this fund. We're dividing into subcommittees. Our first one is our fundraising committee. The next one is our community outreach. This is just reaching out to different groups, just the community, as it says, it's really self-defined. We have a parent PTO area outreach, employee outreach, communications committee, and Election Day Committee. And part of the community outreach will be social media. You know, this is the 21st century, so we are going to join in and have a Facebook page set up for this. We just want to get information out there, information about this campaign. So it's really exciting moving forward. We're all excited. Just received some great comments from the committee members. So any questions, any?
No,
If we
excited.
make a contribution, do we make a check out to They're Worth It, or
Yeah.
what do we make?
Yes.
Yes.
And
please.
to that PO box that's on.
PO Box
this?
72.
Perfect.
Then in the memo line, you put who the antecedent is for the pronoun they.
Okay.
So as Faith mentioned, each one of the members of the committee will then select one of the subcommittees they want to work under, and all of those have been doing that over the last week or so. And then Faith will be in the community too, talking about some of these slides, as she's been through almost as many of these presentations as you have.
No, it couldn't possibly.
She might catch up by the end,
I-
but right now, we're way ahead of her.
got you beat.
And just to remind those that might be watching, it's not just an early childhood initiative. You heard the things that we're trying to do with Biomed and Project Lead the Way, and we've heard Jesse, our student rep to the board, talk about his experiences as a freshman. So it's a comprehensive look at our school district and offering more early childhood opportunities. So when the ninth graders move to the high school, that's where the building will occur. And when the seventh graders move to the middle school, the junior high school, we offer seventh grade activities. The fourth graders come out of the elementary schools to create an upper elementary, so to speak, at the middle school. We create the capacity then to increase opportunities for early childhood, which includes pre-K. Our current reality there, just to remind people in a picture format, in gray is the early childhood special education population that we're currently serving. What's in maroon is what we're not. And the private preschool programs, daycares, are there in yellow. We've showed you before, and showed this to the committee last week, and that was their first time seeing it, that the boxes in green denote within the Camdenton Salary Survey Group those school districts that do not have pre-K, of which us, Joplin, and Neosho are three, and Neosho and Joplin all have issues on the ballot before the voters for early childhood as well. And so this is the configuration plan, as we have talked about. It's a realignment of our grades and offering a pre-K experience through all three of our elementary schools, kind of wrapping ourselves around the data that we learned from Patron Insight. People want to know what it's going to cost. It's a 25-cent levy issue, a zero debt service bond issue, plus our capital projects fund dollars to build. The budget for the building as parameters is $8.1 million. With those things that we've identified, the $4 million no debt service part of the bond. The levy is 25 cents phased in over 3 years. And so you see the cost to a homeowner. Faith's got that down pat. Cost to a business phased in over 3 years. And so as she mentioned, the ballot language, R31-1, for the bond issues right up there. And what's in bullet points is what we will do. It won't appear in bold on the ballot. It'll just appear as the language is stated. For those classrooms at the high school, as part of that to help with security, and also the expansion of early childhood on the bond. The bond does what, Faith?
It's for buildings,
There you
bond
go.
builds.
She learned that's what a bond issue does, and with the levy does what?
It supports.
So the additional teacher salaries, the things that go into the project for ongoing expenses that we've identified will cost between $785,000 and $1.1 million. That's the range depending upon whether there's 4 teachers or 8 teachers, and everything else that we talked about doing, including the activities and transportation, et cetera. what that 25 cents does to our levy. This is the same Camdenton salary survey group. I would remind folks that are watching that see this, that this is a rank order of tax levies. If you rank ordered us the same group with our teacher salaries, we're at the top, except for one cell, and that's step A1 on the salary schedule, the first year teacher, we're at 16.
I think this slide in particular surprises a lot of people. When I talk with people and talk about where our levy is now compared to folks around us, they very surprised by this.
You know what, I'd like to have that, but I could use on Facebook. Separate
I'll give you access to my Google Drive. You can have the whole thing.
Whole presentation.
You can rewind it. Don't say that.
That's big.
Did a
That's big.
screencast, and it's fun. You can fast forward me too. But what it does is moves us up to 19th on this comparison list, and we haven't touched our levy for 14 years. And we think it's important for us to move forward for a lot of reasons. And again, I'm grateful as you are for Faith's effort here. So what we'd like to get done, taking that same chart and start the process of offering early childhood expanded programming and all the other things that academically help our students at the upper levels too, and activities. The little gray area at the top remains, and then the peer model that we've talked about before. We gave a report from Kirksville at a recent visit with Mr. Henshaw, Mr. Hounsome, and Mrs. Reed, talking about what they learned from Kirksville about the peer model, and then addressing the rest of the maroon as a way to offer more early learning opportunities. So offer potential for growth there. As Faith reminded us today as we were talking about this, she says, you know, we've got till 2017 when we implement, we've got a lot more to learn about the, I call it rocks, boulders, rocks, and sand.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're dealing with moving the boulders, the big issues to get this supported, a few of the rocks. When we get into the gray area there, particularly the sand of the tiny details or things that we'll work out in collaboration with our experts on staff and then the community members too. But we just want to get started with the 4-year-olds. So I appreciate Faith in the committee. We've got some of the information. Jenny's been really good, our communications person. Go ahead and speak to that, Faith.
So we have this initial tent, and
These are great.
Yeah, they are
So-
good.
thank you. And this is just some fast facts, and then information on the, what's going to happen. Election date is really important. Get out the vote, and talks about the bond, the levy, just a little bit of definitions here. So this is kind of
Where
our-
are these gonna be? Where are you gonna put these?
Everywhere, everywhere.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, this is our initial, this is,
I even think like restaurants and things. I mean, people sitting, this would be a great discussion, to start a discussion.
The numbers were like little foldover business cards, so people can have them.
Uh-huh.
We talk to points if you're at a basketball game and somebody will ask somebody, oh,
I-
what about
yeah.
this? Look here.
Yeah, I think it's great. Because I
Dinner
could just,
table.
I could see this being the really big topic of people just sitting around, oh, look, this
Yes.
is what they're doing.
yeah, I mean, we
Read.
did, Jenny mentioned doctor's office. I mean, yes, anywhere that there's a little table where we can put it, we'd love to do that.
Ah, yeah, that's neat.
Real estate officer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Newspaper.
So we're still communicating internally
Uh-huh.
and externally. When we go out in the community, the main presentation will get a lot skinnier. You'll be happy to hear, I'm sure, so that it becomes much more succinct and just to a few points. So, for example, I've demonstrated the ability to do that by taking a 58-slide presentation, and it's just 11. So I've come that far. And it'll continue to work its way down because I'll join Faith at whatever place that she can have us go, and we'll fill in the informational details. But we've got a committee that, when we contacted them, they said yes, that they were willing to serve. We didn't have anybody turn us down. And so we're just trying to get the facts into the hands of the folks and respect those that would not support it, but trying to move the district forward per your plan that we've supported and answer any questions you had. A lot more, she'll be back to visit.
Yes, definitely.
she's got plenty to do. I'm amazed that she's willing to do this. So we want to
We
make it as
certainly
easy as
appreciate it.
possible.
It's a lot of work. It's really,
I'm excited about this. I'm very passionate about, that presentation before was just exactly on point. It's so different than when I went to high school, the kids today and in school today. So this is a long time coming.
you gotta wonder the kids that are, starting kindergarten, what high school's gonna be like when they're in high
Oh,
school.
my goodness.
So you've got one that'll be,
Yeah,
how
I was
many
gonna
years
say,
till kindergarten?
Yeah, he's a year and a half, so.
Okay.
Go.
This may be good timing.
Yes.
He'd be eligible for pre-K at Kirksville in a year and a half.
That's scary.
He's probably already reading though, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at, is it, what, this year's kids currently in 6th grade? Is that right, would be the first 9th graders if this happens in the
That's
fall
my,
of 17?
that's my,
Yeah.
that's my little brother.
There you go.
First class freshman.
That's my youngest too.
Yeah, so he'll be able to say to you, you had to ride the bus over there when you were a
Yeah,
freshman.
probably
I'm
will.
telling you.
Probably will.
I remember the old days when I had to ride the bus.
Yeah.
Put you in the snow.
Uphill.
The old days.
Back in my day.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Faith.
Thank you
Appreciate it
very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, thank you.
Thank you for serving.